My favorite Honkai character has finally come out. That's right. Outside of probably, Yukong and Tingyun, I have been looking forward to the cryo mommy herself. That's right, the Ice Queen Jingliu, who is voiced by the ever-talented Amelie. And if you don't know who Amelie is, that's pretty crazy to me. But if you're a weeb like me, you know that she does so many different cover songs. But we're not here to specifically talk about Amelie. We're here to talk about Jingliu, and of course, what you should do to build your Jingliu. Also, from ascending her from level 1 to level 80. Now, y'all, if you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell to be notified of when the next Honkai Star Rail video comes out. Of course, we are sponsored by the ever wonderful Gamer Supps. That's right. Look at all this stuff. Look at all these cool little things that you could get. Gamer Supps has wonderful gluten-free, keto-friendly energy drink, and of course, also a caffeine-free version. And as of today, the release of this video, they will be selling Gamer Tea. That's right. Gamer Tea is going to be just like any normal tea. And it comes in the little tea bags and all that. It's great. Go ahead, check it out. Use code TYSTRA, link down in the description. But without any further delay, let's go ahead and get right into it. Jingliu released this week, and I am so happy with the fact that we were able to actually get her. Now we're gonna go over the ascension first, because I think that obviously is important. You want to make sure that you ascend your characters properly, but let's go ahead and talk about that. So first things first, you're going to need these little treat things. Yes, the immortal cyonets. Yes, those things are from normal, like just in general enemies. They drop from there, mainly on the low fu is where they drop, so that's pretty decent. You're gonna need about 15 of the green, and then we're gonna go into the arrow blossoms right here, the blue ones. You're gonna need 15 of those, followed by the immortal lumen twigs. Now you're going to need a grand total of 15 of those as well. Now remember our rule of threes, everybody. 3 of these cyonets make a arrow blossom, and 3 of the arrow blossoms make a lumen twig. Now Hoyoverse is known for the rule of threes. I love the fact that every time it's so easy to understand. Like, yeah, you need 3, 3, and 3. It makes sense. But yeah, not only that, but you're gonna need the new stagnant shadow that released. You're gonna need these Gilead Chitin? I don't know what it is, but you get it for the new stagnant shadow boss battle that released as of this update in 1.4. So you're gonna need a grand total of 65 of those, and at max ranking you get 5 each run. So what is that? What, 5 times 6 is 30, so 6, 12, 13. But of course, if you're at a low rank, it's going to take a lot more than just those 13 runs, but I digress. Still pretty dope. I believe, what is it? You could do 90 and then 180. You could do 8 runs a day. And I think that's crazy to me, because like, again, it just makes me love Honkai Star Rail in regards to grinding, because I feel like they make it so much better, especially since you get 240 Trailblaze power. But let's go ahead and talk about the trace materials. Now, of course, I'm not going to go over each individual tracing. This is if you want to fully max out your Jingliu 100%. So let's go ahead and first talk about the destruction mats that are the Shattered Blade, the Lifeless Blade, and of course, the World Breaker Blade. These things come from basically like the 10 Trailblaze thingies. I can't remember exactly what they're called off the top of my head. I feel so stupid because of that, but I digress. You get these from those 10 Trailblaze runs, specifically for the destruction path. Now for these Shattered Blades, you're gonna need 18. For the Lifeless Blades, you're gonna need 69. Giggity. And then of course 139 of the World Breaker Blades. And again, the rules of 3 still apply here. 3 greens make a blue, and 3 blues make a purple. So remember that. Remember those the things right here, the cyonets and all that. Yeah, you're gonna need a lot more of those. You're gonna need 41 of the immortal cyonets for all the traces. You're gonna need 56 of the immortal arrow blossoms, and of course 58 of the lumen twigs on top of that. So a grand total of 56 of the cyonets, a grand total of 71, I believe. Yeah, 71. No, that's what it is. 71. A grand total of 71 of the arrow blossoms, and of course you're going to need 73 if I'm looking at, yeah, 73 of the lumen twigs. So there's that. Now, of course, one of my favorite bosses in Honkai Star Rail, not because you just get to slap her in the bosom, is going to be Fantilia, and you're going to need to get these Regrets of Infinite Ochema. Now, I talk about these almost every single build guide because it seems like every character releasing right now is going to use these, right? So you're going to need a grand total of 12 of these, and you get 3, I believe, with each run that you do of that boss fight. Now you can do 3 of them, so you're going to get 9, which means that you're going to be close to being able to get enough for all the traces that you're going to want to do. And then of course you're going to need 8 of the Tracks of Destiny. Now with Jingliu, I'm going to say that fully maxing her out is a must because she is absolutely bonkers. I believe she is ranked SS tier in regards to damage. So if you want your, you know, Jingliu to do a lot of damage, definitely make sure that you get her done. Of course, you're going to need about 3.3 million credits to do that, but in all honesty, with as much Trailblaze power as they give us consistently, I think that you'll have enough time to grind out your credits. Grinding out the credit score not only inside of Honkai Star Rail, but out. Let's go, baby. All right, let's go ahead and talk about her skills really quick. Now, of course, we have our normal skill. Lucent Moonglow deals ice damage equal to 130% of Jingliu's attack to a single enemy. Pretty standard. Transcendent Flash, her actual skill, energy restoration of 20 with a weakness break of a single target at 60, which is pretty good. Deals ice damage equal to 250% of Jingliu's attack to a single enemy and obtain 1 stack of Syzygy. Now, what is Syzygy? Well, we will get to that here in just a little bit. But when you do deal ice damage to the target enemy, you're going to obtain 1 of those stacks. Let's go to the ultimate here, the Flophermial Dream Flux. I hope I said that right. Deals ice damage equal to 360% of Jingliu's attack to a single enemy and deals ice damage equal to 180% of Jingliu's attack to any adjacent enemies. Gains 1 stack of Syzygy after the attack ends. Now, of course, let's go ahead and talk about the talent because this is where the Syzygy stuff really comes into play. Crescent Transmigration. When Jingliu has 2 stacks of Syzygy, she enters the Spectral Transmigration state with her action advanced by 100% and her crit rate increased by 55%, which means that you don't have to worry too much about building crit rate on your Jingliu. For me personally, I have very low crit rate on mine, but I don't entirely need it because I get that extra 55% when she goes into that state. Then Jingliu's skill, Transcendent Flash, is enhanced to the Moon on Glacial River, and only this enhanced skill is available for use in battle. When Jingliu uses an attack in the Special Transmigration state, she consumes HP from all other allies equal to 4% of their respective max HP. This cannot reduce allies' HP to lower than 1. Jingliu's attack increases by 540% of the total HP consumed from all allies in this attack, capped at 225% of her base attack, lasting until the current attack ends. Jingliu cannot enter the Spectral Transmigration state again until the current Spectral Transmigration state ends. Syzygy can stack up to 3 times. When Syzygy stacks become 0, Jingliu will exit the Transmigration state. Now, of course, while you're doing this, I still believe while you're in this state, you're still gaining stacks of Syzygy. But I could be wrong on that. I haven't tried it. But yeah. It's pretty freaking nuts what you're able to do with this whole thing. Now, of course, this also goes into the traces that you're going to be getting. When you go to your skill, right, you're, after using a Transcendent Flash, the next action will be advanced forward by 10%, which is crazy. And then, of course, oh, wait, there is no traces, but I'm crazy, man. I thought I saw something. Oh, wait, no, I was looking at the talents. When you look at the traces for the talents here, Death Realm, when in the Spectral Transmigration state, increases effect resistance by 35%, which is actually pretty good. And then Frost Wraith, while in the Spectral Transmigration state, increases ultimate damage by 20%. This is what I was looking for. I knew that there was something with the ultimate, but I couldn't remember if it was in the talent or if it was in the ultimate stuff. So, and then of course, let's go ahead and talk about the technique here. Shine of Truth, which is impaired technique. After using this technique, creates a dimension around Jingliu that lasts for 20 seconds, and all enemies in the dimension will become frozen. After entering combat with enemies in the dimension, Jingliu immediately regenerates 15 energy and obtains 1 stack of Syzygy with a 100% base chance of freezing enemy targets for 1 turn. When frozen, enemy targets cannot take action and receive ice additional damage equal to 80% of Jingliu's attack at the start of every turn. Only one dimension created by allies can exist at the same time. What does that mean? Well, when you use her technique, she runs around with a little ice domain around her and she instantly freezes everything around her. This also includes breaking, destructible objects that you find in the overworld, which is really, really cool. Now, of course, when you're talking about the spectral transmigration state, we want to talk about the skill the moon on Glacial River because it will take precedence as you're going through. Now, deals ice damage equal to 312.5% of Jingliu's attack to a single enemy, and deals ice damage equal to 156.25 of Jingliu's attack adjacent enemies. Consumes 1 stack of syzygy. Using this ability does not consume skill points. Now, remember when I was talking about the syzygy thing where it might consume stuff? If you use your skill, it will consume, a stack of syzygy. However, I think that you're still good to use your normal attack and still use your ultimate and not consume syzygy stacks. Unless I didn't read that correctly. Let me look at the ultimate one more time. No, you gain 1 stack of syzygy after the attack ends. So yeah, you could, let's say you have 2 stacks and you go into the transmigration state, you could actually use 1 stack, and if somehow, some way you gain your ultimate back in that time, you're good to go. So, but let's go ahead and also talk about what you're going to need to build your Jingliu, right? Let's start off with light cones. Obviously, her best light cone is her own. That's just how it is. I shall be my own sword. Increases the wearer's crit damage by 20% when an ally, including the wearer, or excluding the wearer, gets attacked and loses HP. The wearer gains 1 stack of Eclipse, up to a max of 3 stacks. Each stack of Eclipse increases the damage of the wearer's next attack by 14%. When 3 stacks are reached, additionally enables the attack to ignore 12% of the enemy's defense. This effect will be removed after the wearer uses an attack. This is big. This ignores defense. It also gives you crit damage buff of 20%, and your next attack will be increased per stack by 14%. That's insane. That's ridiculous on how good this is. If you don't summon for this light cone, I don't know. The light cones are infinitely better, in my opinion, than in Genshin Impact's weapon system, but I digress. That's a whole nother video. Let's go ahead and talk about On the Fall of an Aeon, which is semi-free to play. Well, actually, very much free to play because you could get this through Simulated Universe. This is, of course, On the Fall of an Aeon. Whenever the wearer attacks, their attack is increased by 8% in the battle. This effect can stack up to 4 times. When the wearer inflicts weakness break on enemies, the wearer's damage increases by 12% for 2 turns. So not only are you getting up to, 8 times 4? I'm bad at math. Isn't that 32? Yeah, 32% attack buff. But if you inflict weakness break, you're also getting a 12% boost in your damage. Now with Jingliu, she's going to be able to do a lot of that break effect anyway, or weakness break, so that works out perfectly for you. You can continuously get that extra 12% damage to do more. It's fantastic. A Secret Vow, which is the 4-star that I have seen do really, really well with Jingliu, increases damage dealt by the wearer by 20%. The wearer also deals an extra 20% of damage to enemies whose current HP percentage is equal to or higher than the wearer's current HP percentage. Now, this is good and bad in some ways. Now, the reason why I say bad is because if, Jingliu just automatically just starts going ham on some people, then this light cone is not really going to do too much for you in the second part, but you're still getting a damage increase of 20%, which is really, really good. And of course, let's talk about a 3-star, because I feel like the 3-star light cones actually do decently well. Here, Collapsing Sky increases the wearer's basic attack and skill damage by 20%. Very base. You get exactly what a Secret Vow would do, in the sense for skill damage only though. So that's crucial. This increases all damage. This increases basic attack and skill damage. So your ultimate doesn't get increased, which sucks. But this is not a bad one to go for, especially since you could easily R5 it. You probably get enough Collapsing Skies when you're summoning for Jingliu to bash your head against the wall and have a little bitty pillow of Collapsing Skylight codes. That's just how many there are. But yes, there are plenty of good options for Jingliu in regards to light cones. Now let's go ahead and talk about relics. Relics are important, obviously, because, they make your character do the boom boom damage. Let's go ahead and talk about Hunter of Glacial Forest. Now, 2-piece increases your ice damage by 10%, but the 4-piece, after the wearer uses their ultimate, their crit damage is increased by 25% for 2 turns. This is big because, again, getting as much crit rate and crit damage on your character is important for any DPS. So having this increased by 25% for 2 turns is a plus. Plus, you're probably going to get Jingliu's ultimate again after 2 turns from what it looks like, so you'll be fine. So I don't think there's going to be any issues. Now, the 4-piece is good here, but we also have Musketeer of Wild Wheat. If you want to go more of the style of, I don't want to farm for too many relics, you could do a 2-piece or a 4-piece on this. 2-piece attack is increased by 12%, and 4-piece, the wearer's speed is increased by 6%, and basic attack damage increases by 10%. Now, you could also mix and match here. You could do a 2-piece Glacial, 2-piece Musketeer, and you'll be fine. I still think that a 4-piece Hunter of Glacial Forest is probably your best bet. Now, let's go ahead and talk about your 2-piece on the end here, the Rutilient Arena. Now, the 2-piece increases the wearer's crit rate by 8%. When the wearer's current crit rate reaches 70% or higher, the wearer's basic attack and skill damage increases by 20%. This is big, but at the same time, remember, like, you're only going to hit this once you go into the spectral state. You need at least 15% crit rate. Now, this will increase you by 8% automatically, so that's good. You just need 7% more crit rate. Once you go into the spectral transmigration state, you'll be able to hit this and get the extra skill damage up by 20%. Or if you're crazy, then you could get it just in general. Jingliu is a fantastic DPS. I'm actually super stoked to like 100% build her. I actually have all of my stuff ready to go, but the problem is that I still need to finish her traces. That's my last thing. But Jingliu looks so sick. I'm a huge Amelie fan. I think that she's fantastic. I love the Jingliu character and how she ties in with Jingyuan and just the group in general with, you know, Jingyuan, Jingliu, Blade, you know, freaking Danheng, and then the other girl that I hope we get as a character soon. But I digress. Jingliu looks like she's going to be a lot of fun in general, and I hope that y'all have a wonderful time building her. And guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you liked the content. Please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. As of this recording, we are only 26 subs away from the big 1K, and I am so pumped. I'm so thankful to everybody. It's been a very depresso week for me, I won't lie. It's been tough trying to get everything going, but anyways, y'all, also want to announce this. Hopefully you stayed tuned for this last announcement. I will be going to TwitchCon next week, so if you are in Las Vegas on the, what is it, the 18th through the 23rd, I will be in Las Vegas, and hopefully it'd be wonderful to see you all while I'm there. Like, if you're gonna be going to TwitchCon, let me know in the comments down below. Would love to see you. So anyways, y'all, that's gonna be it. Love you all to death, and as always, we will catch you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.